Hey guys, how's it going? Just wanted to give you a little update on my power supply issue. I think I've worked things out. I'm very happy about it. So what I ended up doing was getting the Silverstone 1500 watt, the fully modular one. Had to use some white cable ties this time around because I ran out of the black ones and I didn't want to wait. So I'll swap them out later on when I get there. But it's replacing this guy here, the Enermax Evo Galaxy 1250 watt. This is a semi-modular, but really have to say that I do like modular power supplies better, and go figure, it's less cables. I mean, with the Evo Enermax here, the Galaxy, I did end up using, I think, 95% of the hardwired cords in the build anyway, so it didn't really matter. But any event, now it's all modular, and I'm only using exactly what I need and nothing more. It is quite a bit longer though, if you can see that. I mean, it is a beefy power supply. Everybody says that about it, and I'm just now seeing it for myself in person. So, you know, the one thing that's not the one thing I think I'll do, and then when I talk about swapping out my white cable ties that I don't really care that much, but the black ones will look nicer. I'm gonna get my cables sleeved. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that living up north, where I can send them to get it done, and if I can live without a computer that long while it's being done. Not sure how the logistics are all going to work at that, given that this is a work rig too. So maybe I'll not end up getting them sleeved, but I'd really like to. Anybody knows anybody who does cable sleeving on a professional basis and does a good job, then please let me know. I would like to talk to them and find out what the process is, how long it takes, the cost, all that other stuff. Because I would like to sleeve the cables. I mean, they're not awful, but just to bring it around to the front, I mean, it's just, all it is there's just no sleeving all the way up to the pieces on any of that, which is fine. I mean, it's not awful. Like, I'm more concerned about the performance of it all, which I gotta say has gone really well ever since I swapped it out. I can't say for sure that it was the Enermax Evo Galaxy that was the problem, but as I am running a 980X and two GTX 590s, when I overclocked them and got them, both cards, so the quad SLI overclocked, overvolted as well using the beta drivers, the 218.19 drivers, so you actually can change the voltage on those things, and a pretty significant overclock on the 980X up to 4.4 gigahertz. It's not bad, and I mean, right now all I'm doing is uploading a YouTube video, and I'm pulling from the wall 300 watts, so it's pretty much nothing. But when I did run my benchmarks, I got up to just under 1,000 watts from the wall, just to run those components. And I also rejigged my sensor meter because I had more plugged into it. But there it is right there. That one cord going into that Billiken wattage reader is the power cord to the 1500 watt, which is just running the board, the CPU, the two graphics cards, and the solid state drives and the one hard drive. So, there's not a lot of extra components on there other than those main core components. And I should say, the last time I looked into this, or I was looking at this, I had a little bit more plugged into that reader than what I have today, so the reading's not exactly an apples to apples comparison. But like I said, just under 1,000 watts from the wall when I was overclocking. Pretty happy with that. So you kind of work back from that. From the wall is usually a bit better, so about 80 to 85% efficiency, so that brings it down to about 850, and the peak efficiency of the unit is usually around 60%. So all in all, I'm not too unhappy with that, and I think that's the reasons I'm also getting higher scores on my benchmarks. I run some 3D Mark 11s and the Unigen Heaven benchmarks and the Metro 2033s on a lot of things, and pretty happy with it all in all. The one thing I forgot to show you last time, and I did, is I know that you guys were giving me a hand with trying to figure out how to do the power supplies. Two power supplies turned on. Well, I ended up having to just make a sleeved, semi-sleeved jumper instead of a paper clip that I see a lot of people use, and that's really the way it's going to stay. Now, unfortunately, it's going to be turned on and off by a switch that is right there when I do want to do it, but essentially it's just going to allow me to turn the whole system off and leave the water cooling system running if I want. So it's basically running independent of the other PSU. The reason I had to do this, and I know some guys sent me the link on those motherboard connectors, where it's basically I think 2 24 pins and 1 24 pin. It's just a little bit of an offshoot to do it. This Seasonic power supply, I'm not sure if you can see that. This top one here is, I think, the is not. They basically split the 24 pin or the 20 pin. It's actually this one and this one. So it's not a full long 24 pin. It's actually like a 20 and a 4, I think, or a 16 and an 8. So it's not the way Seasonic's designed this specific power supply. It's not one large pin like is needed. So I don't know what to do. I'm giving it some more thought. Maybe there's some way I can mod that connector. But I don't really mind having the switch on the back to flick on the water cooling system, because the lights light up when it's on, and that gives me a good indication that it is on. And the other thing that happens is I have it set on the settings, which I can't show you because it's blurry, but my flow meters are set to automatically start upon starting, so that I can see that the flow meters are going. So I know I got water flowing through the system. I know I got juice because the fans are all on and the software is reading everything appropriately. So, not really, not something I'm really disappointed in. I actually kind of like it. And then of course when I shut down my system, it's turn the power or shut down on the system, and then flick the switch at the back to turn everything off. Everybody makes the complaint about this 1500 watt power supply. There's no power switch, so it's cord to wall. So the only way to turn it off is if you're in your system and you hit the shutdown button, or you hold down the power button in the front and force a shutdown. So not really excited about that feature. I would prefer to have a switch, even though I can work around it. But anyway, sorry, I forgot one thing. I was saying I didn't think the Evo Enermax Galaxy might have been the full culprit, because I noticed that when I got rid of my battery backup unit, where I had all of a lot of components plugged into the back, I noticed that I no longer had the blue screens of death happening, and a lot of the crashes that were occurring just suddenly disappeared. So I'm not 100% sure if maybe there was an issue with the unit. Sometimes it would just shut itself off and start beeping. Maybe it was overloaded, I don't know. I thought it was fine because it's a 2000 watt, I think it was. For some reason I think 2000 watts. But I've had it for a couple of years now, so maybe it's had its day too, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's, I'm not going to place full blame on the Enermax, because it was a wonderful power supply and I really got a good use out of it, and I was very happy to have it for the time I did. If it's just my system and its lack of power to push everything through efficiently, then so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's only a 1250 watt power supply to running all this overclock stuff. So that's really it. The only thing I was going to say, guys, is if anybody's interested in some of the other components that I swapped out, like my Maximus 4 Z68 board with the motherboard block already installed, I'm looking to depart with that. I also have another Reversion 3 P67 board, the Asus Deluxe board. I only have one 2600K chip though, if someone wants to buy both of those with a chip. Actually, I have a few other components people might be interested in, but if anybody is looking for some new hardware, or actually I also have a 27-inch Dell 2709 monitor. So the 27-inch 1920 by 1200, no dead pixels, none of that stuff, just works great. The only reason I don't have it anymore is because I upgraded to the 30-inch panel for that higher resolution. So anyways, shoot me a note and let me know if anybody's interested in some of those parts, and we can chat. Anyways, thanks, bye for now.